strips of bacon for breakfast, why, they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other, cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champeen Vegetable Mincing Knife and Noodle Cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Well, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers when you want to chop up a little nuts for cake. Cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup. Making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat, once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these, cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here is a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season, when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, this has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. Breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Why, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just hit it down like that. That knocks all the food out. rinse it out in a little water, and hang it up and let it dry. Now here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go around the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now that can be used for sardine cans, square cans or round cans, exactly the same way. Now this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven. Catch a hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness. Every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick. Drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it, makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating... Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, will receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's 2 curls out of the 1 potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the 2 colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. Upon my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat 'em. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in 2. Serve them on the half shell just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this, drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast while they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champeen Vegetable Mincing Knife and Noodle Cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Why, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers. When you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup, making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the...
Hi everyone, how we doing today? Cheese balls tonight. Welcome in, Trigger. How you doing this evening? I also saw a couple of those here. We got Nut Prunes and we got Leo in here. Welcome everyone. So yeah, cheese balls. Going to be doing... forgot to turn it back on. There we go. Now it should be on. Cheese balls. So we're going to start off actually with the bread pudding. Or cheese puff pudding. I actually think we can probably skip one of these apples. These guys are pretty big. And I am only planning a small size of this, because I don't need a gallon and a half of this stuff if it turns out to be not so lovely. But I'm sort of trying to play off of the whole cheddar with apple pie thing here. For a while there, I had a Amazon list with a bunch of products that are similar. But I think I turned off the overlay these days. Cheese ball pie grass was one I considered, but actually I didn't want to do it because there is legitimately a Cheeto cookbook out there. And guess what? They made a pumpkin pie with a Cheeto crust. I don't know about pumpkin and Cheetos, but yeah. So that exists in the world already. Hey, Bun Buns. Welcome in. Should get some music going here too, but sort of in the middle of cutting this apple. Here's hoping I still remember by the time I finish cutting this apple. Oh, the rose is the easy part. Then you just roll it. Sort of like that. You gotta fuss with it, but... along that line. But I'm gonna move on here. Yeah, the actual apple's a little too unflexible for that. Hey, I remembered music. I lost the top. Boo. Not one piece. Oh yeah, it would be the actual flesh of tomatoes, which is what's given the rigidity to this, is much softer. That was weird. Did my ear... Yeah, my earbud just cut out on me. And it just did it again, which means it's probably dead. Oddly. Which means both of them are probably dead. For some silly reason. Hey, Leah! Working with cheese balls tonight. Actually, I'm gonna quick grab something in the back. I'll be right back. Please work. Please work. Why not? Earbuds. There we go. Weird. Alright, so chopping up apple here, which we're going to combine with our cheese balls and turn that into our pudding. Apples we're gonna give a bit of a pre-cook to. Some people get it right off trigger, and I'm not one of those people that gets it very easy. It's not in there so much for the challenge, but for some interesting words to help drive conversation. So let's start by coating these in a little sugar and then give them a little bit of a quick cook. With just a little bit of water with them. So we make a little bit of a like applesauce with it. Turn the flame on down there, or up there for you guys. And Verdiglas. Verdiglas? Let me look it up. Fan on low. Turn that down to a reasonable temp while I look this up. Spanish for porcelain, which is a green slash. It's one of those greens that's on the slash of being considered an herb, but do I want to add any herbs to this? I think I want to just leave it sort of simple sweet apple. I'm not going to add any of the typical like cinnamon or anything like that, I don't think. And so we got a decently warm pan here. Add a bit of water, of actual water. And lastly, a little apple brandy. I know it's not fancy and I'm flaming things up for you guys. I'm sorry. So let those cook for a little bit here. Meantime, we'll mix up the rest of our ingredients here in a bowl. You're gonna need some eggs. You're gonna need some heavy cream. Let's leave that for now. Yeah, make a hamburger salad. I've made that before. Or a cheeseburger salad. That's the same bowl I was using for the egg or for the apples before, so just gonna keep going here. Yeah, it's not too different. It's more like a taco salad, but more with Thousand Island. Yeah, it's basically just mayo, ketchup, and relish anyways. It's not too bad. I enjoy it now and then, but it's definitely not a salad dressing in my mind. It's just a little cream. What we got over here, apples? We cooking yet? What do you mean by traditional mayo? Now, see, mayo is one of those products that I think typically in the supermarket, it's pretty much junk. I mean, they get the consistency and everything about it perfect, down to the line. But, I mean, when you think about it, they're trying to maximize their profit when it comes to that. And so they're going to use a cheaper oil. And they're going to use, it's the difference between that and using a real fresh egg yolk at home with proper, decent oil, completely different. So... $50 mayo, I didn't like it. Too fruity for you? Too much olive oil in it? Which is what I would assume is why it was so expensive. What else are we throwing in here? We get some sugar. We need about a half cup of sugar here. Yeah, maybe even a little bit more. Oh, we get the apples. Truffle oil. Yeah. Truffle oil is just... Yeah. I'm sort of torn on truffles. I've had truffles and really liked them. And I've had them just be overpowering. And at the same time, I really don't like truffle oil. I really don't like truffle oil. The vast majority, like even that truff hot sauce and all that other stuff, they're just using the same chemicals they use as scent for feet. I mean, it's... Yeah. Cheap alternative instead of the real thing. And I probably wouldn't put a ton of truffle oil in it if I was doing that, because it's scented in itself, so probably only need a little bit of it to hint the whole thing. Like, you could have probably made that mayo with a cheap oil and then put a couple of drops in there and pocketed the rest. This isn't boiling off quick enough for me. We need a quarter cup of sugar. Open up another bag of sugar here. One of these days I'm going to be amazed and be opening up the last bag of sugar. Professional business world, I'm not too against that. Battle! We shall go to battle. This one might be rough. I have a feeling I might not be winning this one, guys. close. Wow. Just the two of us. Congrats. Congrats, Entropy. Alright guys, put your units on the field. We'll have another battle here in 30 minutes. And now for cheese balls to enter the field. Let's see. I'm trying to remember if... I know with bread you typically soak it for a while. I don't know if I really want to do that for these. Yeah, we're gonna... We're gonna let those hang out for a little while, and we're gonna figure out what we're gonna put this in. Seems like the likely candidate here. This is ending up larger than I wanted, even still. Even though I'm doing a half recipe. I'm glad I'm not doing a larger one. Oh yeah, I stole a couple of these already. Which, by the way, they're not even shy about it. Monosodium glutamate. I don't know if I want to put in that, or I think we're 9x13 size here tonight. Hey, Doomation. Monosodium glutamate. It is also more commonly known as MSG, and tons of people have a unfounded fear of it. Lots of foods, period, have it. I mean, the Asians sort of discovered it, but just walk down the snack aisle, it's sort of hard to avoid. Or not even just the snack aisle, just any aisle. I mean, it's in ranch dressing these days. It's not bad for you, Doomation. Well, everything's bad for you in ridiculous amounts. But in any normal amount that you're going to consume, it's just a paranoia thing. There were some bad studies about it back in the day, and you couple that with it being on menus in Chinese restaurants. Okay. We're getting close enough here that we're going to add a little bit more water to this just to keep the bottom of the pan wet. And we're going to add these to the party. I don't have any towels clean today. Well, next to none. I don't know if I want to pour this into here hot. I think I'm going to wait and let this cool off of a couple minutes here until it's a little bit closer to room temp. We're going to add in our cheese balls now, though. Do I want to add any vanilla in here? Yeah, let's add a touch of vanilla to this. It is not easy work. No matter where you are in a Michelin kitchen. And if you're in one, you probably started at the bottom. No. That long hours, next to no pay. Especially here in the States. Couple, I would say, European nations may be more, respecting of service industries than we are here in the States. Not even, especially not in a Michelin restaurant. You have a culture in cooking where people are working as, especially in Europe, where you work as an apprentice and you work your way up. I've worked in several kitchens in LA and that without pay, just to get the experience and work there. It's standard. I mean, it's called staging. It's being sort of frowned upon, but at the same time, still happens. But, yeah, it goes along with a lot of unfair stuff, like, I mean, tips go entirely to waiter, in many cases, and that's by law, and it's sort of like, well, isn't the manager, the bartender, the chef, the cooks, all part of that same experience? It's sort of... So we're doing... I think we're going to do about 5 cups of these guys. I don't know how about trying to do a cup measure. I don't know. Let's just eyeball it. But hey, pay is not everything. And honestly, it's getting a lot harder to be in the cooking world. And it's not going to get any easier. Because it's one of the things they're working on automating these days. And on top of it, you've got... food world's heading in a weird way. You now have ghost kitchens, which I guess sort of existed, but weren't really a thing. Now they're really a business with online ordering. And so you've got these ghost kitchens, which are essentially kitchens that are pretending to be a whole bunch of different businesses online. So like, you could be ordering from your local P.F. Chang's or your local whatever, and it's coming out of a centralized kitchen that's doing everything. So the drivers only have to go to one space, sort of a thing. And it's leading into this weird world where we now have Mr. Beast burgers and all of these celebrities coming up with restaurant concepts that aren't even in reality. They're just a menu that someone's cooked up for them. And so the idea that you're even going to have a chance to be having an influence on the menu as a cook in the future here is pretty much dead. It used to be, you know, you hang out in the kitchen long enough and hey, you start designing a couple specials here and there, or you handle your station's stuff or something along that line, and that's just not a reality anymore. You're going to be stuck in there doing other people's food too. Well, that's sort of what it is anyways, but okay, we're going to set this and allow this to hang out for a little while. I think that's going to fit nicely into my 9x13 there. But we're going to let it sit in the bowl so it'll help soak up a little bit more of that custard-like liquid. We'll get working on a couple other things here. What else we got on the menu tonight? I think we're working on mac and cheese next. Oh, definitely need this out in the air. Opening up. Got a package of chicken. Set that out so the air gets to it. I'm going to start with a lard-based roux here to start our bechamel with. I'm not sure. The name doesn't strike a bell. Welcome in, Huberman. How you doing today? How's your evening going? I'm always amazed when I look at this lard that I've rendered myself off of the pig and how clear and clean it is. I mean, that's just gorgeous. Brand new oil. Well, 6 months old, but oh, that's hot now. What happened to the whisk? Add in a bit of water now that we have our roux started. Whisk that in, which should pretty much instantly thicken this up. Yeah, if only just from the flour itself, but not even from fully thickening. We still got a lot of thickening power here. In fact, I'm going to add more water to this. I'm doing pretty good tonight, Huberman. We got a fun project tonight. Working with cheese balls. Hey, car guy. Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Southern Food Day too. I haven't quite figured out what I'm doing, but I always enjoy Southern food. I think we're turning the heat off of that for now. Pulling out whipped cream and our cheese. I've done fried chicken a ton of times. Not that I don't love me some fried chicken. What am I doing with my shears? Over here, hidden. We aren't going to use all of this in the sauce. We have other plans. But we have cheddar and we have smoked Gouda, or smoked Gruyere. I don't know that I recall that song right now. Well, I did see Journey at one point. One version of it, yeah. I'm now realizing that I'm mixing up Queen and Journey, but I apologize for that. But thank you, Trigger. How's your grater working for you? Hey, Theo. Welcome in. Thank you for the bits. It's I don't have a command for it set up, I don't think. Thank you, Entropy. Or instead of /game, you can do /T/Chef JT. And it should take you directly to me. No, I don't remember that. I hate that trigger. When you're like, you got a little bit of a twinge and you're like, okay, I'll have this little thing and maybe that'll quiet it down, and it just makes it growl. Nice trigger. Yeah, I like me a good steak. That's funny. I said I like me a good steak, and with the lag on the computer, it just, I don't know what you guys heard, but it came back in my ear as just saying I like steak. You can find them here. You have people that try and do the challenge on eating them. That's the one that has that speed eating challenge, isn't it? The gold foiled chocolate orange. Spicy chocolate is an ingredient? Meh. It's the same as chocolate. It's not going to change really what I do with it. I don't do stupid hot stuff, Huberman. Okay, heat back on our water and roux back here. Gonna add some heavy cream in the mix. Oh, thank you for reminding me. I must have missed the call for the battle. Oh, we still got 6 minutes. Oops, there we go. Heat back on here. And healthy dose of cream. Add a bit more water. Mostly adding water here to get it to the thickness I think I need for when it fully heats up. Save this last little bit of cream for something else. Nice, Trigger. Enjoy your burger. And then we wait to add the cheese. While we're waiting, let's do a little pepper. Little bit of garlic, little bit, very little bit, and MSG. Take that back. One more thing from the drawer. There you are. A little sprinkle of cayenne, too. So we're starting to get there in our thickness. It's starting to heat up. It's going to continue to thicken here until it comes up to a boil. Who's that from? Oh, it's a global emote? Thank you for checking in. Yeah, Car Guy's got some sprinkles. He's been hanging out at it a while. He, she, they. I apologize, I don't remember. I just assume with Car Guy. Leave some of this left over for later projects. Cut the heat on this now. I had a fair amount of this in there too. Let's leave the rest of that. Okay. There's our lumpy bechamel, which the cheese will continue to melt in that. That's going to be nice and tasty here. Next project. Oh geez, do I want to... Maybe we'll use that. Okay. So we got our cheese sauce. Now we need a container, because we're doing baked mac and cheese tonight. Yep, battle's ready. I was dealing with the cheese here first. Let's do our battle. Victory! Graz Morocco with the scrolls. And there we go. Another battle started. Add your units to the field. Can add a new one every 5 minutes. We'll do this in 30 minutes. Cheese sauce. No, Pooperman. Still doing sort of setup here. We got our cheese ball pudding started. That's sitting here on the counter soaking up the custardy-like sauce. We got that going, hanging out here with the apples that have slightly cooked and the custard. That should be tasty. Working on our bechamel right now, and that's got some smoked Gruyere and imitation Gruyere, not the real stuff, and some cheddar as well. But no, this is gonna be a little bit tonight. So I have to make the waffles first before I even get into the chicken. I'm thinking about how I want to go about this. I think I'm going to use a mixing bowl. Jera? Was it one of the... Not sure where you're getting that from, Huberman. Where did I hide you? Good old Mac. Not quite elbows. They're like twisted a little bit. Welcome, Raiders. Hi there, I'm Jason. Cook here on stream 3 nights a week. We're working on cheese balls as an ingredient. I have a weekly ingredient challenge. I hold votes every week in my Discord. And so this was the choice for this week. So we're doing dinner and dessert using cheese balls. We already got dessert started. We've got cheese ball pudding. So like a bread pudding using cheese balls with apples in there. And that's just soaking up all that good custard cream and egg and yumminess in there. And that'll go in the oven in a little bit here. Thank you for the follow there. The Hopstress. Beer lover. And we're into our second dish, which is going to be mac and cheese. But I'm going to do a baked mac and cheese, and I'm going to crust the top using crushed up cheese balls. And then I'm going to serve it with cheese balls. Don't want to bake the actual cheese balls into the mac and cheese, because they'll get soggy like these ones. But anyways, so that's where we are so far. We're headed into doing fried chicken coated with cheese balls. And then that's going to turn into a chicken sandwich with cheese ball chaffles. So welcome in. Thank you also Irish Berries and Mr. Thomas for the follows. Welcome in. Welcome in. How's everyone doing tonight? What were we streaming here, DJ Light? Green Light? What was the hit of the evening? So we're going to combine our smoked Gruyere and white cheddar bechamel with our pasta here. There should be more than enough liquid in this sauce to cook that pasta. Nice! A little Korean beef action there, huh? There we go. Now that's a giant cheesy mess that needs to bake up. And it's going to increase in size, obviously. So let's hope that doesn't massively overpour this. But I think we'll be okay. Not too bad. Actually, don't know if I actually need that lid tonight. Take a gallon bag here. Thank you for that, Apollo 9.5. My earbud died on me there, so let's hope that's charging now. Add a couple handfuls of these guys in there. Give them a crush up for our topping. No worries, TJ Greenlight. I hope you enjoy that dinner. That's always the problem with watching food shows is not knowing what you're going to have for dinner afterward. So do a little crush action here. Maybe we can do this so you guys can actually see it, huh? I think that's good. Let's wait for that. We're gonna get the oven on, get the oven heating up. See what temp I need for this, even though it's a guess anyways. Okay, 350 for that too. So, yeah. We'll get that. We'll wait on putting the topping on this until the oven's ready to go. Until then, I think it might be choffle time. Let's do a little quick cleanup, get this bowl out of the way. Yeah, that one's a bit rough. They're not all English either. Actually, a lot of them aren't English. But they're all food related. Sort of. There's a couple that are like, yeah, is that really food related? We're gonna need mixing bowl again for chaffles. And we're gonna need waffle maker for chaffles. Get the waffle pan heating up here. If you guys are not familiar with chaffles, chaffles are a keto diet phenomenon. Essentially, it's just cheese and egg that we're cooking in a waffle maker. But they do make decent looking waffles. And so we're making a fried chicken sandwich with a egg and cheese bread or bun tonight, if you guys haven't caught on to that. Actually, I'm going to use this for making our chaffles, and we're going to make some more. We need a couple of eggs in here. But this is certainly not going to be keto, considering that I'm adding cheese balls into it. I think I actually want to go for 3 eggs here. Hollandaise. Well, baby whisk. Well, it's my baby whisk. It's not exactly the babiest whisk I've seen. Make sure our eggs are nicely whisked up here. Not just one giant solid mass that still needs some work. Welcome back, Trigger. How's your burger? We're going to add our cheese. Yes, all of it. And the cheese balls I crumbled, intending to use on the on top of that, we're going to do this. Yeah, I gotta update that. It's been ages since I've updated my slideshow up there. That's mostly all stuff from back when I was streaming other places. So this is our waffle mix. Wow. I think it sort of depends on the style of cornbread you're going with, but typically I would say no cornbread because I want honey butter with it, but maybe you're using your cornbread for something else. Yeah, it was pretty damn windy here the other night, too. Yeah, I'm sort of lost on that one too. We're waiting on this to... You guys don't have a great view of it because you're looking down on it, but there's a little light indicator here that you might see. Yeah, we can turn this maybe so you can maybe see it there. There's a little light indicator. I'm waiting for that to turn off. While we're waiting for that to turn off, let's crunch up some more cheese balls for on top of our I don't know, do you guys get a lot of snow? I would think, being a northern country, that you probably get a decent amount of snow. No, you at least get chilly. Not a London expert here, or not a UK expert. I really like the texture of these. When I was looking at what I was pouring in over there, it's almost got this, like, they're so light and airy, it's got an almost like snow-like texture to it. It'd be awesome if you could find some white cheddar ones for, like, if you were like a cake decorator or something like that. I mean, they literally look like snow. Yeah. I remember getting scrod all the time as a kid at a cafeteria I used to go to as a kid. My folks. Our oven's up the temp here, so let's see. It's got enough moisture to it. It just needs to warm back up again. I mean, how perfect of a... I mean, you'd have to sift it, but you can get a beautiful snow pattern out of this stuff. Hit that with a little black pepper on top. And our waffle maker's ready. I think I'm going to season that with a bit of salt on top too. Let's put both of these in at the same time here. Our oven's ready, but I'm not. A little smoky tonight. Oven's been acting up again. I need to heat her up and just let her rip again. And I need a second pan for the second item. We have another piece of parchment. because we don't want these dripping on the oven and getting even more smoke creating. Although it's sort of smoky in here today. Should probably open the window here. If only for a little bit. Because this guy puts off a decent amount of smoke on top of the oven back there. So, gonna toss this guy on top of one of those pans. The other one, we're gonna fill this guy with. So our cheese ball pudding is going in the oven. The neighbors are all going to think I'm nuts talking to myself. It's alright, they all think I'm nuts anyways. These are both going in the oven now. We'll check in on those in 20 minutes, let's say. Actually, let's give them a good 30. And that's just on really the cheese, the mac and cheese. Probably going to go 40 to 50 on both of these. We got our chaffle mix ready. I sort of want to add another egg to this because this seems sort of dry to me at this point. Yeah, I think I'm going to add another egg in this. Those cheese balls just soaked up all the moisture. And actually, since we have that in there, we do have a starch in there. Add a little bit of heavy cream in there too, just a touch. Conserva. Okay, these are getting more and more like pancakes by the moment here, or waffle mix by the moment here. I am now considering light dusting of baking powder. These are still pretty dry. I think I'm going to add a little bit more cream to this still. Mostly because I got it to use. There we go. That's more what we're looking for, I think. So we got a hot griddle here that we hope isn't going to fall off of the... It should be just about perfect here, I think. Fill up the whole griddle. Oh, there's no... Oh, I was going to say toque, but... Still need the eggs out. Battle! The battle is ready. Let us go to battle. Hit Mama Bear just wiping up the field. Victory! I got my 50, yay! Head Mama Bear and Morocco with the kills and assists. Entropy and Head Mama Bear with the scrolls and gold. Congrats! And I get scrolls and gold too, apparently. Said okay. Let's check out our quests here. My egg thing seems to be maybe overflowing a little bit here. Let's see what we got going on in the store here. 36, sure. Alright, back to the campaign here to start a new map. Let's see how we're doing here. Oh yeah, we got some big old waffles here. That's a fluffy waffle there. We're approaching max height here on our waffle maker. Maximum fluff. And I just remembered that I need to crush even more of these guys, so let's do a little bit more crushing. Because we need even more crushed for our breading on our chicken. Yeah, I want to do even more. More! Oh, that's going to be so delicious looking. You guys are going to love this waffle when it comes out. The real question is just how brown and beautiful golden that it's going to be. Just... We'll wait until I can get the waffle maker out of the scene here to crush the next set of balls. To crush some balls. Oh, we're still on that scene too, so you can't see what I'm doing either. Thank you, Trigger. I'm surprised this thing is still going. This has been a minute, but I mean it is one heck of them. I mean seriously, it's got like a ½ inch of height here. It's got some serious girth. Yep, I'm in Sonoma County, California. Nice. Nice. There's been a huge... It does seem to be a bit of a boom and maybe a bust, or at least a slowdown with Portland. I know BB Bubs is a streamer that's up there, and he's now moving away from there because there's just not opportunities. It's like I was saying before, it's all going to ghost kitchens and stuff, and I actually read a article the other day about how even the mobile trucks are getting into it now. Yeah, it really boomed. I got a couple of buddies that live up there too, and I haven't talked to them in a while. I don't know how they're doing, but they're in a little bit more of a corporate position. Both of them. I need something more to drink here. So I'm going to go off camera here shortly and fix myself another drink here. not done. Yeah, that's a rough one when it's the owner trying to squeeze out a better buck, or even worse, when the landlord pulls the rug underneath the entire operation. Forget the name of it. There's a really famous restaurant in the San Francisco proper area that just closed. That's been around for like ages and ages, like institutionalized. And it's closing because, not because of COVID, but because the landlord's deciding that, time to move on. Certainly good timing for some things like that. Yeah, it's been happening. Well, it's been happening for quite a while here in San Francisco. Yeah, as you said, it's becoming a mini San Francisco. Yeah, San Francisco is just a mess. It's just such a bureaucracy of yeah. Thankfully, I think well, it's going to take having the right people elected into the city, but I think at least getting to a point here where they get the right person in there and cut the tape, it might be okay, but otherwise it's going to be a mess for ages. Okay, waffle reveal time. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good looking waffle. I'm happy with that. But like, it's got girth. It's a thickin' for this guy. This is a thin, small little waffle maker. And it's nothing but egg and cheddar, basically. We'll cut the heat on the waffle maker, and we'll move him somewhere where we're not worried about him being hot. Or it being hot. For the moment. And take our lovely waffle here. Let's give you a main view on that loveliness. Give you all the color deliciousness. Even though I knocked something on the floor. Obviously leaked a little oil on my counter here. Butter of waffles passed. Thanks for hanging out with us, 9.5. I know it's pretty... Glad to have you, and thanks for the bits. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. I hope you have a lovely evening. So now we're dealing with chicken. Let's crush our cheese balls for our chicken first. Before we start messing everything up with salmonella. Oh, I should also get oil started here.
Hey, thank you for the check-in, Wolfie. Welcome in. How you doing tonight? For those unfamiliar, sprinkles are our in-chat currency for occasional giveaways and fun stuff like that. You can't use channel points for giveaways or things like that because it's technically enhanced by subscribing or bits and all that, and so thus making it not free to everyone. Just had a raffle a week or two ago for a gift card when we got to 500 viewers. And I do have plans for other things. We'll see how we get to them in time or not. Or whether we end up celebrating again at 1,000 or what. But so there we got our topping for our chicken. We're going to need our 3 pans, as I typically use. Pull out the start in another couple of eggs here. Down to 1 egg again. Glad I had eggs for tonight. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I sort of forgot to buy butter. Yeah, everyone tastes differently, Wolfie. Genetically, everyone tastes differently. So even though Mom probably makes up half your genetics, maybe it wasn't salty enough for Dad either. So one of these we're going to fill up with this stuff. No, I used to play instruments when I was much younger, but that died out, unfortunately. I do enjoy music, but not so much playing it. Throw this away, I'll be right back. got into playing when I was in high school. I played a bunch of instruments in high school. But, haven't done much of that since then. Okay, waffle's going in front here. I'm not too worried about the temp on the waffle because we're using it sort of like a bun. And these are some beautiful looking chicken breasts, but we're going to have to cut these down in size a little bit here. So we're going to cut these into 3, I think. But I hung around the brass section. I did cornet, baritone, tuba. I'm sure there's all sorts of stuff like that going on. I know Formula One's had all sorts of fun dealing with that stuff. They actually just canceled Australia for a 2nd year in a row. Well, they postponed it this year. Because Australia's been pretty strict and they just locked back down again. Because they just had a couple of fresh incidents. So we're going to bread our chicken up here. How are we doing on our oil temp back here? We still need a little more heat here. But it's okay. We can hang out and just double coat these a couple of times, I guess. Wish I had whisked those up before I put them in there. Let's give them a little bit more of a whipping. Too much pepper. So it's too spicy for you, or like black pepper? Yeah, Huberman, I'm trying to sort of actually avoid that subject. Oh, no, I brought it up, Huberman. I wasn't... You're fine. I was saying that... So as usual with these, we're just doing a light dust in here. Just want to get all the wet places dry. And put a nice light coat of flour on there that'll help. Sort of like sand and paint in between layers. It's going to help this egg get a nice coat to that chicken. fine Hooverman. That's what you meant, Leo. Sorry. It's a good thing to strive to. It's sort of hard thing to accomplish. Something I sort of given up on lately. Something I need to work on lately. Yeah, before we get too deep here, I think I'm going to double coat these guys. I will look forward to that day. Oh, quiet, oven. Well, isn't that pretty looking? That's not so pretty looking. It's not ugly, though. We're still gonna get those a little more time. I actually need to check that first one again. Yep, that's going to need a little bit more time. How's our oil looking? This is looking a little bit more up to temp now. Yeah, that's getting closer to 300 there. It's 260, 270. But speaking of that, let's set another timer so I don't forget it. We're giving that 10 minutes here to do its thing before I think I'm going to pull that Mac out. Pan with the drying rack for our pieces of chicken when they're ready. They're done cooking. Because we're going to have to probably throw those in the oven after. Because these are some thickens. Probably going to need to crush some more cheese balls too. It's probably not going to be enough for all of these. Just raring to go with my first ones, though. Yeah, I should do some more of that. It's been a while since I've done some, like, longer cooked roasts. I mean, I guess I did the shoulder for the holiday, but it's been a while since I've done some slow cooking, like shanks or anything like that. I did a lot of that when I first was getting going streaming. We want this well over 300 here. We're maybe 330 at our highest, which is this one little point over here for some reason. Nice, Epic Wolfie. Yeah, I did, for the holiday this year, for sort of my fancy dinner, I did a sort of traditional dinner for actual holiday, but for my fancy dinner I did a whole pork shoulder momofuku style with the lettuce wraps and all that stuff. All that good stuff. Nice, Huberman. That's another one that I haven't done in ages, is stuffing a chicken breast. Someone was talking about the other night, and I was like, I haven't done that in a while. Someone was doing cordon bleu lately. Yeah, the store-bought ones, they definitely have the science down, so they're definitely going to have a consistent cookie. It's sort of like my typical answer when it comes to that stuff, but yeah, they use some added chemicals to make them rise better and stuff like that, yeah, I'll live without. Yeah, I can sort of see that, Huberman. I mean, it's one thing when you're doing all your own cleanup, but when you're in someone else's space and they're going to have to clean up afterward. Let's give this a shot. Definitely gonna need to crush some more of these guys. I got rid of the bag, I think. Knocked out a whole barrel tonight. Oh, we got a battle ready too. Sorry, I don't have my earphones in, so I can't hear that right now. Let's do our battle. Victory! That was a quick one. Catherine wiping the field for us. Gret's trigger and entropy with the get rewards. I'll do one more tonight here. Trying to be a bit quicker with crushing these this time because I want to get back to the other chicken. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be toying with the oil then, because this is dangerous. There's all sorts of ways you can start a fire doing this. Decent crust on those guys. Got a little darker than I expected, but I'm okay with that. Still on the battle there. Sorry, guys. Here's our first batches of chicken. Those came out looking lovely. In the camera they look near perfect. I think they look a little dark here in person. But I am willing to live with that. Let's take a look at what we got going on in the oven with our pasta here. I still want to give those another 10 minutes. Oops. Okay. Back to coating. I left too much flour on this guy, that's why he's... This is what you shouldn't do. Then when you get these flour bubbles in the water, you get flour all over the place, meh. Should have been more careful myself there. Give these both a good coating here on this side. I think I'm just going to single coat these. These ones are turning out pretty well here. Yeah. Now let's see where our oil temp's back to now. Yeah, this ain't my house either. I rent this space, so I have limits on what I'm doing here too. Like, I mean, these are all clamped in place. Nothing's, I don't have things just screwed into the wall somewhere. Actually sort of envious of, I don't catch her stream much, but Cook with Kate. Who's recent partner here on Twitch. She's redoing her kitchen right now. And I don't know if she's redoing it as a streaming kitchen, but it'd be an ideal thing to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you probably wouldn't want this where you have open flame. So I am definitely going to go and salt that chicken over there right now because I totally forgot to season my bread. Yeah, Pooberman. That's the world for you. Or at least my experience with it so far. I've lived in this place for over a decade now, and I could count on my hand the number of times I've actually seen my landlord. I asked him about 5 or 6 years ago about planting some stuff out front of my gate. Yeah. A little bit darker on these guys, but I think we're still looking good there. We're pretty close to cooked there, if not cooked too. So I was a little worried that I was going to have to hit these with the oven for a little while, but they're feeling like they're pretty well cooked through. Oh yeah, I fully expect him to completely replace the stuff in this place, and the refrigerator's bothered me since like day one, but that's about the only thing that's bothered me here. This has been a pretty good place otherwise. Okay, we'll get rid of this mess. We'll give these guys a flip because he needs to see some time on the other side. Yep, that makes it real easy there, Epic. Heat off on this. Put a lid on that. I'll warm that up lightly tomorrow and give it a strain. But for now, it's just going to hang out back there. Okay, that's doing okay. These guys, just in time. Let's take a look at our mac and cheese here. I think that's looking pretty yummy. Those did get pretty dark though on top. I'm sort of surprised by that, how dark these things are. Wishing I had a convection fan right now for that pudding. So I'm going to actually turn the temp down for that pudding. Sounds illegal. Hey, Leo. Well, yeah, Chef Cast Iron. You like my cast iron. Everyone likes my cast iron, don't they? I just realized you guys can't see this very well. You peepers. You lovely, lovely viewers. There we have our mac and cheese. Which, these guys did brown up quite a bit more than I expected. We are gonna give this guy a slice. You can see the underside there if you wanted to see the other side. A cackless. Is there a Keck W necklace out there nowadays? We're going to throw this on here with this, because at some point we're probably going to throw this back in there for a quick minute. Though we are getting to oven capacity here. No worries, Leo. Got another 12 minutes here on our battle. We got 12 minutes left on the oven. How convenient. And us with nothing here to show you at the moment. Why don't we switch over and we'll set up our vote here on Discord for next week. Check that we're updated there. Thank you for the vote after we did that, but here's our past winning votes for the ingredient day. If you guys haven't checked this out before, we've done a wide variety of past ingredients. And so we need our top 2 suggestions here. I think we have more than enough that are... I think we got a couple down here with a couple extra here. Let's see, we got ramen dinner and pickled ginger. We got any others with 3 in here? Couple of 2s. Couple of 2s. But it looks like pickled ginger versus... And this is going to be for dinner on 27th. Oh, we don't have any good pickled ginger gifts. Boo. We'll do the sushi. We're starting this over, I guess. Why is this taking forever? What's going on here? Hey, Mr. Carrington, how you doing this evening? Welcome in. I'm working on setting up our vote here for next week. And so if you guys want to join in on the vote here, you can go to this location here under the dinner voting and click under the chef hat of which one you prefer for next week. And that will be the ingredient we have to work with. Yep, we're doing cheese balls and everything tonight, and we just got another ingredient. Mushrooms of some description. Okay. I guess I'll take that. I'd rather you be a little more specific, but... because we also have, like, stuff like that, too. And so we can take off ramen dinner and pickled ginger. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Okay, so that is our vote here for next week. That'll go until Monday, and I will close the vote on Monday. And next Wednesday we will have either pickled ginger, or ramen. If you're new into the channel, I have to give you permissions. Let me see. Let me check if you got any new in here right now. There you go, Wolfie. And oh, we got some other goodies in here. We got Trigger with some slider action. Buddha, thank you. I appreciate that, thank you. And so we got another 5 minutes now. We're waiting on our pudding in the oven. I'm doing a cheese ball and apple pudding for dinner tonight. We have mac and cheese with cheese ball crust on it. We have chaffles, which are egg and cheese waffle made with cheese balls in them. And I have fried chicken in the oven, staying warm, finishing up warm. And so we're going to make up a fried chicken sandwich using a chaffle. Serve that with some mac and cheese. And hopefully this pudding turns out. It's looking... I'm a little worried about the pudding. I'm a little worried about the pudding. But we'll see. It looks beautiful going in. I don't know how well it's cooking tonight. The Brawlhalla horn. Oh, do we have a... I'm not sure what that is, Mr. Carrington. To be honest, I'm not sure what a Brawlhalla horn is to begin with, but nice, Superman. Thank you. I'm gonna sneak a peek here. Yeah, I wish I got a little bit more time on that. Pudding. Or maybe made it into a larger batch or changed its, maybe 9x13 was not the choice there. Chanterelles, I love chanterelles. Might be hard to find certain times of the year, but works for me. So I'm sort of okay with this. I think that's going to be fine. Sort of wondering if I shouldn't do a second batch. They toasted up and they look sort of dark. What do you guys think? Do you think I should throw some fresh ones crushed on top of that? Or just leave it as is with the sort of toasted top? Nice, Huberman. I don't know that I've made chanterelle soup. I've made soup with chanterelles. This is the clean plate I got. Oh, no, it's not. It's the one from the waffle. It can be really dangerous picking mushrooms if you don't know what you're doing. And there's mushrooms that look like other mushrooms, and you could have to be really specific with some of them. Like morels. Morels is one of the famous ones, where there are two types of mushrooms that look identical. You know, you have the morel and you have the false morel. The false morel, the only difference between the two is when you cut it, morels have a hollow stem, false morels have a solid stem. But there's ones that are just as complicated, and there's all sorts of mushrooms out there, so you're not going to find your typical mushrooms that you find at the supermarket out in the wild, though. You're looking for different things. For the most part. Alright, we're definitely pulling the chicken out, because chicken's been chilling in there at a 300-degree oven. That's got to be done. So we got our chicken coated with cheese ball that was fried and now finished in the oven. We'll set that down over here. I really am not sure about that. I sort of want to give that some more color. I want to give that even more time. So yeah, it's looking better than I thought before. But yeah, maybe need to work on sizing, time, oven work for that pudding. But we can throw this back down there for a minute to warm those waffles back up and make sure that get a little bit of a cheese pull maybe with our pasta. Oh yeah, there's all sorts of weird things, Huberman. And there's mushrooms that are fine if you eat them for a little bit. They can ruin your liver if you eat them too much. Like, I'm thinking of reishi mushrooms, which Asians use for weight loss. I don't know if it's traditional Chinese or if it's some other Oriental basis, but they can certainly screw your liver up, but at the same time they drink them with tea all the time, that sort of stuff. There's whole bunches of mushrooms that they drink in teas and are not edible as well. There's also mushrooms that are only edible if you cook them. For chanterelles, I probably won't use a brand. And I don't like showing... I try to avoid showing brands at all on the stream. But, when it comes to chanterelles, usually my easy... I mean, last minute, because I gotta buy it in a couple days for the stream here, is probably going to be Whole Foods, because Whole Foods typically has them available. But if I had more time, probably hit up the farmer's market. They're much hit or miss at the farmer's market. The vendors aren't always there, especially when it comes to the specialty mushroom vendors. Cheese puffs, these guys are just store brand. Although I suspect they're Oots manufactured. UTZ. Because they do this same plastic container. Oh, we got a battle ready to go. I forgot about that. I can't hear it because I don't have my headphones in tonight. Let's do our battle. Let's see how we fare in our last battle of the evening. Leo Zio with the kills and Pingrosaurus Rex with the assists. Leo Zio walking away with the scrolls. Congrats, everyone. And like I said, we're going to be calling it a night here. We will start up with this again on Friday. Check the store real quick while we're here still. I already hit this up once. We're good on our quests. Awesome. What all do I want to throw on here? I know we're going to need some of this and some of this. Do I even have mayo? I do. Have a good one, Play Carrington. If you guys haven't checked him out, he's a lovely game streamer here on Twitch, and I don't know if he's back to reading here on Twitch or if he's just doing that on YouTube, but he also does a fair amount of book narration. I used to enjoy listening to his book narration back in Mixer days. Nice! Sundays. Sunday mornings? Sunday afternoons? Seems like everyone streams Sunday mornings these days. Afternoon, nice, nice. Yeah, that's doing a little bit better now that it doesn't have. Yeah. So we'll take our chaffle. Just to make it fully commercial, fully complete chicken sandwich. We need a bit of that fake American cheese on there. Actually, this is getting a bit of a bake. Sorry, this is going to take a second longer than I thought, because I want to melt that. Give that a couple of seconds in that hot oven. That should do that up well. Meanwhile, we can add a little of this stuff that you guys don't like on this side. Not a lot, though, because it's all going to sit in those holes. I don't want a ton of mayo. Getting there. Couple of these guys. Oh. Yeah, we still got the mac to throw on here, too. So we're going to take this off camera to scoop that mac. There we go. Mac and cheese. Go to the main view, give you guys a picture with better color. Again, those are chaffles. They're not normal waffles. They're cheese and egg waffles with a bit of the cheese ball mixture in there. let's take a look at this pudding. This pudding's starting to look a little bit better here. It was looking a little pale in the center. Let's see how this is looking now, though. Still maybe a little pale in the center, but I'm gonna live with that. There we go. Apple and cheese ball pudding, or bread pudding. Need somewhere to put you so you guys can see this gorgeousness. Thank you, Buddha Butter. So let's see if we can't get a... Well, I sort of want to let that sit, guys. So I think I'm going to do photos of the bread pudding. I'm not going to lick mayonnaise off my knife. I'll do a photo of bread pudding on the Instagram and on the Discord. Thank you, Leah. Hey, Becca. So we're going to call it a night there, I think. I appreciate you guys joining me. Thank you for the challenge. We have the new challenge up in Discord for next week between ramen dinner and pickled ginger. So that should be a fun evening, too. Looking forward to that, actually, already, too. I already threw back the charcoal back on that list just because I'm sort of tempted to do charcoal. But I'll give you somewhat of a review here, guys. I'm not a big eating on screen guy, but mac and cheese is delicious, as expected. I mean, it's just giving us a nice little crunch on top. And let's give this guy a shot. See, this is the scary moment here. Not the chomping into it, it's the, did I cook that chicken all the way through? Yes, I did. Is that chicken still juicy? Yes, it is. That's pretty damn good. I don't know if it's as good as that soft potato roll. I love me a potato roll, but this is pretty damn good. Yeah, I'm excited to see what that bread pudding's like now, too. But let's see who we can give a raid to tonight. So I can go and peacefully enjoy the rest of this lovely meal. Thank you, Becca. Who do we got going on here? Wow, sort of an odd mix of streamers tonight. Not a whole lot. We'll go and say hi to her again. She's always fun to hang out with. That isn't what I wanted to do. That isn't what I wanted to do. That isn't what I wanted to do. There it is. There we go. Awesome. So I'm going to send you guys to go hang out with Zobocat yet again. Lovely food and drink streamer. Great fun. She'll put a hat on for us. Want to thank you guys for joining me. Yeah, sorry 3NZ. We made some cheese ball mac and cheese. We made a cheese ball coated chicken. And made a sandwich out of that with a chaffle made with cheese balls. And then back here on the back stove, we've got a cheese ball pudding, or bread pudding made with cheese pudding and cheese balls instead of bread. So that was tonight's dinner. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you come back and join me for this weekend. We're doing Southern food this weekend. I forget what Friday and Saturday are, but we definitely have some Southern food coming up. All sorts of fun stuff. I hope you join me. I'll be back on Friday, 4:30 Pacific. Until then, have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.